listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
Booze and Bloodshed podcast. I just said that because I don't know what else to say. Hey, Leah.
Hi.
We are back with another podcast.
Episode of Booze and Bloodshed. We are so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. As always, we are here to dish and discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and/or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode. Today, we are going to be talking about North Coast Brewing Company's Old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout and the movie Trick or Treat.
Very nice. I was able to, by the way, we are just coming back because our audio interface crapped out on us. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Crapped out on us last week, and we had to have it sent back to the manufacturer to be replaced. So explains why we are a week late or whatever. You know what? It's just whatever.
Yes.
It's whatever. So, hey, can you turn that lamp on over there, by the way?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to doing that. Can you turn it on? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I was trying to turn it on.
Okay, so yeah, we're here for the North Coast Brewing Company, Old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout, and Trick or Treat.
I feel so lethargic now after we just ate.
I know, but we had to get something in our stomach before we ate the stout. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and I feel so ill prepared right now.
Why?
Like I always feel.
You always feel ill prepared for this?
Yes. Okay. So here's yours. Let's go ahead and get your bottle. I'll get my bottle.
So
a nice little
this.
4-pack here.
So excited.
Old Rasputin. This beer came out in 1996.
Did it really?
It did.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was like kind of a recent thing.
I remember the first time I got this beer, it was a drain pour for me because I was like, that is too, I don't know how I made drink. And that was probably a long time ago because I didn't know what to appreciate then. And I poured it down the drain because I was like, it's just too strong for me. And now it's just like a great beer. So
it's so good.
It's so good. So I'm going to go ahead and open mine, see if I can get some smoke off of it.
Well, I think it's so good.
Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, no smoke on mine. Let me do yours. Yeah. I could have done it next to the microphone. I didn't do it.
Ooh, that sounded good already.
Ooh, that was nice. Oh, you almost dropped yours.
No, I didn't.
Looked like you did.
I didn't. And it's my keys with my bottle opener on it. That does not make me sound like an alcoholic at all.
That's the, what's the keychain on there? Is it the Dos Equis?
Yeah, it's a Dos Equis keychain that I got for free at On the Border a day after Cinco de Mayo.
Freebies are the besties.
I was excited about it.
Heck, yeah.
And you know what's funny? At the time, I didn't drink beer.
And you still have it.
So I don't know why I was excited to get it.
And that was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And then we're actually drinking out of a glass today. This is stemware for a Teku glass. A very nice Teku stemware glass.
What is a Teku stemware glass?
It's a glass. It's made for aroma, so that you can get more aroma at the top, so it's more narrow at the top. So these are really good for IPAs, but because we're so cool, we're doing it for the Imperial Stout.
Is that what they're specifically made for?
Well, they're made for beer, but
just any beer.
Yeah, mostly for getting the aromas off of it. That's why IPA is really big because they have so much aroma, and it funnels that aroma into the glass. It's a little bit more concentrated at the top instead of being wide open when you drink it. Fuck off.
You're so knowledgeable.
Whatever.
Okay. I wasn't making fun of you.
Yeah, you were. You were totally laughing quietly. So,
I mean, it's
we're gonna go ahead and give it a pour.
Funny how much you know.
I'm gonna give it a pour.
Ow.
What?
I said ow and I didn't even hit myself. I hit the glass.
Oh shit! I spilled the Russian Imperial Stout on myself, which is not one you want to spill because it's so dark it was stain, and I don't want it on the new carpet.
Ooh, and it's a perfect pour for this glass.
I told you.
The whole thing fits in that.
That's what she said? Okay, now I'm going to try to pour mine. Let's go. So it's pouring nice. And it's got a nice body.
Oh my God.
It really does. It fits in there just perfectly.
It does.
I can't believe I spilled mine, though.
I can.
I can. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. Empty bottle. Let's look at this. It is, okay, let's describe it. What it is, it's produced in the tradition of 18th century English brewers who supplied the court of Russia's Catherine the Great. Old Rasputin seems to develop cult following wherever it goes. It's a rich, intense brew with big, complex flavors and a warm finish. 9% alcohol.
And this thing is fucking black.
And it's very dark. I mean, it is.
It's black.
And it's got like a dark tan head. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a... it's not dissipating very much. It's kind of sticking around.
Yeah.
Mine's about a finger lacing. Was yours about a finger as well?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get it.
Super good.
Let's give it a sniff. Let's give it a sniff real quick. Oh shit!
It smells so good, but it smells very.
It smells like a barley wine.
Ew, don't say that.
Really?
I hate barley wine. Don't say that.
It smells roasty as hell. To me, it smells like the barley wine boozy smell.
It has a boozy smell to it for sure, but
for
it
9%?
smells roasty. It smells like coffee. It kind of smells like chocolate.
Dark chocolate for me. Yeah, but it does remind me of a barley wine too. So let's go ahead and dig into it.
Oh shit, that's so good. So good.
It's so good. It's so roasty.
It is. But I like that, and it's dry.
It is dry.
And I love a dry stout.
I like a good stout and an imperial stout. And Russian imperial stouts are a different beast. They are very rich and roasty. Is somebody here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Just making sure. My phone's going off. So, yeah, it's really dark and roasty. And I like a good imperial stout, but I have to be in the mood for a Russian imperial stout because it's roasty in your face.
See, I'm kind of the opposite. I can pretty much always go for a Russian Imperial Stout. Especially if it's like really cold.
Yeah, when it snows.
Well, no. I mean like the stout itself. Like if it's like super cold, it's really good. I can't really get into a Russian Imperial Stout when it's starting to warm up, which is probably when you should drink it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I do like drinking regular stouts like that. Mm-hmm. I know that's weird, but to me, there's like a difference in taste.
My palate's still adjusting to this. It's good. It's good. It's strong.
I love it.
But yeah, I just remember when I drank this the first time, I just poured it down the drain, and who knew?
Now, I would stop you from doing that. It's very filling.
It's pretty good. I guess for me, the weather needs to be a lot colder outside to really kind of drink a lot of these. But once you have one, they're all the same after that.
But it's a good beer, and we're not saying that.
And North Coast Brewing is it Northern California? I think it's in Northern California. I'm going to make this screen bigger.
It's a product of the USA. That was...
Oh, yeah, and Old Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Old Rasputin. Old Rasputin.
California, Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg, California. They have some pretty good ones, too. I think this is the first one I knew of from them.
What else do they have?
Let's see. North Coast.
This is a very heavy one.
Yeah, it is, man. It's kind of setting, whatever. Sitting on my stomach kind of heavy right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even halfway through this thing.
Ooh, I like their website.
So pretty. Okay, here's the beers. Damn that. Oh, barrel aged Old Rasputin. Let's see. Old Stock Ale is really good. We've had that one.
I haven't had that.
I've got it downstairs. And I think the Old Stock Ale, Old Rasputin, think those are the only ones I've had from North Coast.
I was about to say, I've never even seen the other ones.
Old Stock Ale, Old Rasputin.
Ooh, they have a reserve list. Can you imagine how good that is? Old Rasputin on reserve. Shit.
Well, what's the difference? What would make that so much better?
Aren't those barrel aged?
Not necessarily.
Oh.
But maybe so. Shit, I don't know.
I mean, they kind of look like they are.
They look fancy though. Anyway, North Coast Brewing Company, Old Rasputin, 9%. Heavy Russian Imperial Stout, and it's good. I think this is probably one of the. Is it one of the first ones that we had?
What do you mean?
Like one of the more commercially available ones that we had in the U.S. at first? I can't remember, but I do remember I had it back in the late 90s. So
when I was a toddler,
I'm gonna do another one.
I mean, out of 5.
Oh, you're asking my rating?
Yes.
The more I drink this, the more it's tasting like barley wine-ish.
Ooh, stop. I think barley wine is so... Ugh.
Oh, I love a good barley wine.
I have had 2 ever that I
shitballs
kind of liked.
Which
the
ones?
rest I hate.
Which ones have you liked?
That one that you made, like, no shit. That I actually did like that one. And then that one that Bankhead had.
Yes.
All the other ones I've ever had, I am not a fan.
We need to do a Bankhead beer.
We should do a Bankhead beer.
Their triple IPA is badass, but everything we do is IPAs. So like IPAs.
Well, they're good.
Dude, yeah, that beer is heavy.
It is heavy. It's kind of...
And it's not like it's a real full mouthfeel, but it is heavy.
I feel like we're giving this like a bad note.
No, I don't think so at all. I think
it's really good. But I think part of the thing is that we literally just ate, and now we're drinking a really heavy beer.
That's fair. That's probably true too.
But it's really good. I mean, I really like the flavor. I think it has a good mouthfeel to it. The body is really good.
Yeah, if it were snowing outside, I could tear these up. Remember when that blizzard hit? And we were eating. I was drinking Big Bad Baptist like crazy. Yes. That's when I ordered the soundboard that we're talking on now.
And you know what? We never even ended up doing anything with Big Bad Baptist. The whole reason that we bought that was for the podcast, and then we we were just like, oh, we drank it all, so fuck it, I guess.
Well, I think it's seasonal, and I can't find it right now.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I don't know, but okay, that's a good beer. We have the 4-pack up here. I know you're not going to drink the rest very much of yours because you'll be talking a lot and you carry away. By the way,
I will try.
Yeah, I spilled mine over myself a second ago. This will stain the shit out of carpet. Please be careful.
I'm not the one that spilled it.
I'm just saying be careful. All right.
Okay.
So I guess we're going to talk about Trick or Treat.
Yes, Trick or Treat. So we watched this
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. No, last week. We watched it last week. But then we weren't able to do the podcast, so... but Trick or Treat, so basically what it is it's an anthology Halloween series, and it's a horror movie.
Horror movie?
And
it's a horror movie?
I didn't say it's a horror movie.
Here, you need this. Need that.
But I love this movie. It's just one of those things that I watch every year.
Which one of these are mine? I don't know.
That's yours. They're both yours.
All of these? Okay.
Yeah, well, the thing on the back is like... the general thing.
Okay.
But I watch this every year because it's just like a nice seasonal little movie.
What year did it come out? 2007.
2007? It did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do know that it was originally supposed to be released like a year prior, but the studio was also releasing Saw, I think. And they didn't want to compete with that, and so it kind of just went like almost like a straight to video kind of thing. And it got bad reviews. I think it was like very limited in theaters at the time, and so it did come out in a theater, but
so this came out the same time the original Saw came out?
Well, they delayed bringing it out because they didn't want to compete with that, because Saw was already like a really widely celebrated horror franchise. And so they didn't want to put that out at the same time because they knew that Saw was going to like beat them, I guess. And it was just going to totally overshadow Trick or Treat. But I really like this movie. I know you didn't really like it.
I just try.
You got up and you were like, well, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. And then you walked out the room. I was like, hell?
It was
It's good.
Obviously, anybody that listens to this podcast knows that horror movies are not my favorite. I don't mind talking about it. I mean, I like talking about the beer.
Yes.
So we have our differences on that part, but we both like beer.
Well, I think that's...
I'm here for the beer and for discussion.
I think that's part of what makes this fun, though, is because...
Yeah.
I think you're funny because you're like, this just fucking sucks. I hate it. I don't understand it, and I think it's lame.
If we had the exact same viewpoint of this shit, it would be boring as hell. Probably aside from how boring it already is, but more so than usual.
I don't feel that way. I mean, I think we could have substantial discussion if you were as equally into it, but I think that we still have a substantial discussion because you have a different viewpoint and you bring something else to the table.
So
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the movie wasn't bad. It was just stupid. Like
it's not stupid.
Story wise, the premise behind the whole thing, to me, was just like, and we'll get to it. When I finally understood at the end of it, when I understood what it was, I was like, that is stupid. Like,
what do you mean you understood what it was?
The very end, I guess we'll just jump around with it. So,
like the fact that they're all tied together.
You told me what it was before it started because I was just kind of like, what is this movie about? Whatever. And so it's like, okay. And at the very end, I was like, that's this person again. And I guess we'll talk about that. But this person was like, he was about to freaking kill him. Like, he was within, like, I don't know, a few inches of his life. And then when something happened, he stopped and went back to the other place, which was the very beginning of the movie.
Yes. And
so it was kind of like,
so like the movie is kind of told out of order. It's like a Quentin Tarantino kind of thing, you know, like where different parts of the story, it really very much is a Quentin Tarantino kind of thing because it's broken up. Like for those of you who have seen Pulp Fiction, there's different stories within the movie, but then you see how they're all tied together by different events that happen. And so this is kind of what this is. Different stories are playing out, but then throughout the movie, when you're going from story to story,
it kind of ties back into the first.
Yes, and you'll see different characters from the other stories and how they're relating to those other characters.
And when the burlap sack thing came off of that being,
I think that's stupid.
I do. Fucking pumpkin head.
It's supposed to be like
Halloween.
It's supposed to be a pumpkin embryo, is what I read.
What?
I'm not kidding.
A pumpkin embryo?
It is stupid. I think that part is stupid. I think they should have not taken that off and should have just left him what he was.
Because I thought the whole time it was I thought the whole time it was like a kid.
In a sense, it is.
Like, it would have been cooler if it would have been like some kind of a devil demon thing instead of a pumpkin head.
Well, okay, so it kind of is. It kind of is, and I'll explain that. No.
I'm sweating.
Turn the fan on.
No, because then we'll hear it.
Oh, well, that's true.
Are you hot?
No, I'm never hot. Gosh. So anyway, I'm going to give you the whole plot summary overview kind of thing. So Trick or Treat is interwoven stories demonstrated that some interwoven stories demonstrate that some traditions are best not forgotten as the residents of a small town face real ghosts and goblins on Halloween. Tales of terror reveal the consequences of extinguishing a jack-o'-lantern before midnight and a grumpy hermit's encounter with a sinister trick-or-treater. So there are some famous people in this movie that I am familiar with. Brandon probably literally only knows like one of these people. So Anna Paquin.
Who is she?
She is Sookie in True Blood.
Which is
the main woman in True Blood, the blonde in True Blood.
Okay.
So she is in it.
That was her?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
The brunette in this movie in that costume. You know, and she's with those girls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Look at me.
She's in a bunch of stuff. Like she was in.
I got close to blinds real quick.
Okay.
You can go ahead and talk. I don't...
Well, I mean, you're not at the microphone to respond to me, so I'll wait a second. But there are some people that I've seen before, but I could not place where I had seen them from. Dylan Baker, he is the teacher or principal, whoever in this movie, who is like a serial killer. He was in Selma and Revolutionary Road. Anna Paquin obviously is from True Blood. She's in Almost Famous and she's all that. Leslie Bibb she was the one at the beginning of the movie who was the first person that got killed. And like he cut her head off and shit.
That the one that they were at their house? Or
Yes. Okay. Yes. She is Ricky Bobby's wife in Talladega Nights.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
See? You have to put it to me that way.
I know. Well, shit. She was really pretty in Talladega Nights. Damn, this thing's hitting me.
And you know what? Another stupid part of this movie is he was killing people with fucking candy. Suckers. Lollipops that have been bitten off. God.
This movie is kind of dumb. It's campy. It's cheesy, and I will admit that it is, but it's a good movie. Brian Cox, I know him from this movie called The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which I highly recommend if you subscribe to Netflix. It's a really good scary movie. That also has what's his name in it from that movie that you like with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, Alpha Dogs.
Alpha Dogs. So the drug dealer guy.
The crazy one, or the one that the dark-haired one?
The crazy one.
Okay.
He's in The Autopsy of Jane Doe with Brian Cox.
And he was in this movie?
No. He's in The Autopsy of Jane Doe with Brian Cox. Brian Cox is the old man at the end of the movie that's getting his ass kicked.
Okay.
And that guy was in a lot of stuff. Like I'd never seen him in anything except The Autopsy of Jane Doe. He was in The Ring.
This is from Thinner.
He was in I know because I didn't type up a new thing. He was in, is it The Bourne Identity? I've never seen that, so I don't know how you pronounce that. The Bourne Identity?
Yeah, The Bourne. The Bourne Identity.
And then Danny Phantom, which, fuck yeah. I love Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom's really good.
Jesus.
It was a cartoon on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. And it was about a ghost. Anyway, this movie on IMDb was rated 6.8 out of 10, and then Rotten Tomatoes gave it a score of 7.4 out of 10. Totally agree.
No, I don't. I disagree vehemently.
Why?
I'm going to give it a...
Stop.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to give it a 5.
What?
A 5.
You are such a harsh critic. What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell? What's your Dell?
What's your Dell?
Well, anyway, this movie has 5 interwoven tales. It really seems like more when you're watching it.
Yeah, because there are some times I couldn't figure out which was new and which was the old one.
You're like on your phone, too.
No, it's not. I watched it.
You watched the entire thing?
I watched the entire thing.
Oh, well, I'm actually surprised. So at the opening of this movie, a couple is coming back from like a Halloween block party, and the wife is wanting to like go ahead and clean up all the shit in their yard, which I think is so unrealistic because it's like fucking 2 a.m. Who wants to
nobody's
do
cleaning
that?
their shit up at that time in the morning.
Well, actually, you know what? It must have been before that because there's rules to this. So the entire thing is there is this character, his name is Sam, and he's this little, what would you even, it's not like a monster looking thing. the burlap sack thing.
The pumpkin head.
Well, but you don't know that's what he is until like the very end.
Right. I thought it was a kid, but
yeah. So okay, he looks like a little boy, and he is named. His name is Sam, and he is named after Samhain, which is like a Celtic holiday or something, and that's what the original Halloween was.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, you kind of know about that. It's like a celebration of the dead and all that. And so that's why his name is Sam. He's supposed to be like the origin of Halloween. He is the embodiment of Halloween. That's what his character is. And so he's going around kind of trying to make sure everybody's following the rules, and he ends up killing this couple because she blows out the candle in her jack-o'-lantern, and he's like, oh, hell no. Like, you're not going to do that. So she's putting up her stuff, and her husband is like being a gross ass upstairs.
He's watching porn.
Watching porn in their
what
house.
What was the tape called? It was like
nature something.
Nature film or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like what the fuck was that?
Yeah, and he put it on. I was like, it was videotape. I'm like, yeah, that's porn.
But you know what bothered me so much about that is it's like you have so much shit in your yard and you're not even gonna help your wife clean it up.
Well, I guess he was too drunk, but
what an asshole though.
He watched porn and passed out on the bed watching porn while she was cleaning up the yard, I guess.
Well, if I was her, I'd be like, well, fuck this. I'm not doing it by myself. We're gonna do this shit in the morning. So anyway, she's cleaning it up. And she meets the demise of Sam, and you don't know at that point that that's who kills her, but he is. And he cuts off her head and basically cuts her up.
Didn't they make it look like it was like one of the ghosts in the yard that killed her? Or maybe Sam was hiding in one of the ghosts? Oh, the lights just went off in the back.
You like almost had a heart attack. Your eyes got so wide when that happened.
Didn't they make it seem like it was one of those?
Well, you don't really know what it is.
No, but it looks like it's either one of those things or somebody's in one of the things that kills them. You don't know it's a Sam thing until the very end.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know what kills her, but that's who did it.
But they made it look like it was one of those scarecrows ghost things.
So she is just... They say she's like the first story, and I mean, I can kind of see that, but it's not really a story. I mean, it's like such a quick thing
it's like
that
an intro.
happens.
Yeah, it was fast. Compared to the other ones,
yes.
It was much faster.
So anyway, Halloween festivities and parties continue throughout the town, and a parade marches down Main Street while the silhouette of a short figure walks through the crowd. Enter Sam. So you see him...
I don't remember that part.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's dragging that burlap bag, and it's like dirty and shit.
It's got
you
shit seeping out of it or something?
But you think he's just a kid. You think it's like following a kid. And then it cuts to... The guy from...
See, that's the mind fuck on that part is, even though you know at the end of the movie, in the beginning part of the movie, you don't know, even after you know. You know?
No. What are you talking about?
Like, I still thought that part you're talking about was a kid. Even just now. Like, it didn't occur to me that it was that Sam thing.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm agreeing. I'm sure it is. I'm just saying it didn't occur to me in the movie that's what that was. I thought for some reason it was still a kid. The beer is still hitting, by the way.
I can tell. I know. I'm starting to sweat.
You want to turn the fan back on?
Yes.
Okay. Keep on talking.
But anyway, and so it actually goes to what I consider the first story, and that is the principal, or I guess he's the principal because all these kids seem to know him. But he's this nerdy ass guy. And you see him walk up to his house, and there's this kid stealing candy and shit off his porch. And it's Thurman from Bad Santa.
Oh, sorry.
Fat Thurman, but like bigger.
Okay, do what now?
So, when it goes to the first story, and that guy's coming back to his house, like he's returning from somewhere. And Thurman's sitting on his porch, like stealing candy and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's the same. Yeah, it's the same kid from, what was that movie?
Yeah, Bad Santa.
Yeah, did you already say that?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I'll call him Thurman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why is it that every role he plays, he's the fat kid eating candy?
With the same fucking hair. That's how he looks like. Have you ever seen that comedian? What's her name? Oh, my God. She's so funny.
Paula Poundstone?
What? I don't even know who that is.
This thing is sagging.
God, what's her name? That's going to bother me so bad. She just got married, and she seriously looks like Thurman, like grown Thurman.
And she just got married?
Yes. God, what is her name? That's going to bother me so bad. I don't have my phone. I think it's downstairs.
Is that that's over there, behind that.
Oh.
There it is.
So anyway, I'm going to have to find this later.
So
Because
somebody that looks like him got married. A female.
Yeah. I have to look this shit up real quick because, like, everybody's going to be like, oh my God, yeah, I know who that is. And it's really funny.
So who's the principal in this thing again? Who was that?
That is Dylan Baker.
Okay.
So that's his name in real life. But he goes by Mr. Wilkins in this.
Man.
And he comes up to the porch and he's like, I don't know, just acting really fucking shady. And that kid's just like sitting there scarfing down the candy. And it's like, I would have left.
Yeah.
But
then he sat down next to him, right?
Yes, he sat down next to him and he's talking to him. And then all of a sudden this kid starts acting like he's going to like just puke everywhere. And he's like, don't forget the most important rule. Always check your candy. And this kid just fucking pukes up like bile is what it looks like.
Yeah, and then he takes the kid inside.
Yes, like after the kid has died. Like he has puked so much he died.
So he basically poisoned his candy, I guess?
Yes.
And then he pukes like a shit ton all over the steps and the sidewalk. He takes him inside.
Yes.
After he's dead, I guess, right?
Yes.
And then more kids knock on the door.
Yes, and he answers the door. He answers the door and everything, and it kind of freaks him out that he has blood and shit all over him. So he goes back inside.
And it almost looks like it's candy and blood on his shirt.
Well, I mean, it kind of is. Like a kid puked up candy and bile and shit. So anyway, the kid's dead. Like, no coming back from this. And then his annoying ass kid. This kid annoyed me to death. Like, I know he's supposed to be really cute and shit, but like, I think if I had a kid like that, like, I would just leave.
So did he take him, like, okay, so the kids knocked on the front door. He gave them some candy too, right?
Yes.
And they were talking about the blood on his shirt or something like that, which was like a shit ton of candy and blood.
Did you realize that the kids that come to his door are the kids in the bus story?
Yes.
The Corey thing.
Yes, I did catch that. I remember that part.
Yes. And so anyway, he takes...
It kind of bounced to them and away from them and back to them again.
Yeah, that's kind of what this whole movie is it bounces back and forth between characters so you see how everybody is intertwined and how all the stories relate. And that's kind of the point of an anthology, and that's what I really like about it. I like having many kind of episodes within one movie. I think that's really interesting to me. I don't know why. I also like this movie called Tales of Halloween that's like that.
It kind of...
Tales of Halloween's different, though. Yeah,
it kind of lost me, but then made sense at the same time.
Well, and that's the point.
And it didn't really all make sense to me until the very end. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, yeah, and that's the point of the entire movie is for you to be like, oh, shit. Like, this is kind of cool. Like, everything relates.
Shit.
But this kid's, like, being really annoying. He comes downstairs and he's like, oh, can I carve a pumpkin? Can I carve a pumpkin? Or jack-o'-lantern, I think is what he's saying. And he's like, yeah,
he keeps saying it over and over.
Yeah, like, shut the fuck up.
Did he say it to him while he was burying?
So, he's burying Thurman in a hole that other kids are already in that he's killed.
Yeah.
And his kid is, like, he's in the backyard, like, trying to be, like, inconspicuous about this. And his kid is, like... yelling at the top of his lungs out of his bedroom window upstairs, and he's like, shut the fuck up, like, I'll get to you when I get to you, kind of thing.
He's trying to be all nice to the kid, like everything's fine.
Yes.
But yeah, the kid keeps going, we gotta carve our pumpkin, or when can we do this, or when can we do that?
Yeah.
He said he did like 2, 3, 4 times. You're right, it got fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
And
I don't think it was supposed to be cute.
But then while he's burying those kids, his neighbor comes out, that Brian Cox, who, once you see toward the end of the movie, that is the very last thing that happens at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it ties back around to him peeking through the gate.
Yes.
Or the fence.
And he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, your kid's being annoying, everybody's being annoying, shut the fuck up, or whatever. And so he goes back inside. He finishes burying this kid, goes back inside, or while he's on his way back inside, then you see his neighbor... like banging on his window from inside his house, like, help me. And he's like, like, go fuck yourself.
And that was Sam at the end of the movie trying to kill him.
Yes.
And you don't realize that until the end of the movie.
Yes. And so he goes back inside and the kid's still pestering him about carving a jack-o'-lantern. So you think he's about to kill his kid because
Yeah,
he's
they go
been annoying
downstairs.
because he's been annoying him this entire time, and he's already killed a kid.
Yeah, they go to the basement. Mm-hmm. And
He says, "I'm going to do a scary face," and you think it's going to be on a pumpkin, but it's on Thurman's head.
he cut his head off and made that the pumpkin head.
Yeah, and that's the first story. So his, obviously not this whole entire like situation, but the poisoning kids with candy, his character is based on a guy that actually did that to his own kids.
I was going to say, it seems like somebody would have to be kind of sick.
There is somebody that did that.
Well, but to put it in the movie, though, I don't know, because it's kind of a line you
like in Bad
cross.
Taste.
Yeah, well, like Stephen King, right? It. You know, that original movie, the fucking book was nasty. It was fucking gross. Like, whoever did that had some mental issues.
You read the book?
Why are you freaked out about that? I read enough of it to be like, this is fucked up.
I didn't even know that you were interested enough in something like that to read it.
In it, but I tried. I tried. Even back then, I tried. But he was talking about killing kids and this clown killing kids. And to me, even in a scary movie, that's just a line you don't cross. It's kind of
kids?
a weird, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not.
It's just kind of strange. I don't know. To me, even in a scary movie, it's just a line you don't cross.
Like, you don't kill kids.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
See, I feel like that about, you don't kill animals.
No aminals.
No animals.
You don't kill animals.
You don't kill animals in scary movies. I hate that, though. Doesn't that bother you when that happens?
Yeah, but kids is a little bit, I don't know. What's the word I'm thinking of? Taboo, maybe?
I guess.
Gross?
It is gross, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. I'm like, oh, really? He killed the kid. All right.
Yes.
And they cut his head off. That was
Yes.
so nice of him.
That was so nice of him.
Nice of him.
So now we're kind of transitioning into the next story, which is Anna Paquin's story. Her name is Lori, and her character, her name is an homage to Laurie Strode in Halloween.
Do I want that second beer?
I don't know. I feel like you're gonna feel like shit if you drink that.
I'm gonna feel like shit anyway. I'm just trying to decide if I want that second beer because it was good. It was like a sipper, a nice roasty sipper. And you're halfway through yours.
I know.
You're doing better than I thought you were gonna do, though.
This is gonna be interesting toward the end of this.
Why?
Because that kind of stuff hits me like at once. I'll be okay, and then like all of a sudden I'm not.
Well, you still have 7, 8, 9. You still have a few hours before you got to take off, right?
Yeah. So her character is named after Laurie Strode from Halloween, the original Halloween. And so she is with her sister, and it seems like it's two of her sister's friends. And they're shopping for Halloween costumes. And while they're trying stuff on, I thought this was annoying, and I thought this was probably the story that I was the least interested in.
Oh yeah, I forgot this part.
I was not intrigued by the story at all. I thought it was kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah, and it was kind of strange.
It was weird how they were talking about stuff. And it's very obvious how they're talking about it, that it's not like they're normal. You know what I mean? Like, they keep saying, like, they're like overhyping this being a virgin thing. And it's like, it's very obvious that you're not talking about like sexually a virgin. Like, you're talking about something else, and it's very clear.
It wasn't clear to me.
Really?
Mm-mm.
It was.
I thought they were just trying to hook her up with her friends and
maybe it was to me because I've seen
it
because I've
every year
seen
since
it.
2007.
No, I've only seen this like maybe like the last 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years, and but anyway, and I think after you see it the first time, then you pick up on all these cues of like, oh, well, like, this is obvious. But while they're in there changing and they're getting their costumes on and wearing them out of the store on Halloween, which I just think is weird as shit. Like, those places are not going to be busy on Halloween.
I wore a one-piece suit out of Tractor Supply. One time.
I wouldn't call it a one-piece suit. That sounds like you're wearing like a one-piece bathing suit.
What do you call that?
A jumpsuit.
Okay. I wore that out of the Tractor Supply.
It's because you couldn't get it off.
Maybe they couldn't get there.
They could. But you know that kid that like creeps on them while they're changing.
Yeah.
That is Sam. He plays Sam in the rest of the movie. So, like, it's not Sam's character.
I was about to say, because it looked like it was a kid.
But it is. But he's the little kid that plays Sam. Like, he's his character.
Oh.
Which I thought was interesting. I mean, I didn't know that. But kind of the rest of this story, to me, is boring. And it bounces back and forth. Like, this was supposed to be, I almost feel like, this center point story. And I was like...
It seemed the least intriguing. Even though I didn't catch on to what the whole virgin thing was, at the very end I was like,
if you
stupid.
If you saw this again, you watch that again, and you're like, they're just pushing this shit too hard for it to be like her having sex.
Well, I still thought that's what it was.
And but you know what I mean? Like, this was supposed to be like the center point story because they keep coming back to that story like several times instead of just getting it over with. And that kind of annoyed me because I just thought it was boring. But, yeah. So that's kind of all that happens. And they invite this guy that works at the Halloween store to this party. And he's like, yeah, I'll come. Well, anyway, they end up leaving her because she's like, well, I'm going to find a date and whatever. And then
didn't she end up meeting up with that guy and he tried to kill her or something like that? Is that right?
So that... Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, like, they keep coming, they keep coming back to that story, is what I'm saying. And it's just, I think that's supposed to be the story that ties everything together and everybody's characters together in some way. But it's just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's really climactic. Like, I just don't feel like it's super interesting. It's just, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, because I don't know how she met up with this guy.
Well, this is like...
Was it the same guy from the store that she met up with?
So this is like way later. No, that was her sister. Her sister, that was her date. The blonde, that was Cinderella.
Yeah. Did she pass this guy off on her so she could have a date or whatever it was? She said her sister up with this guy that's still pushing the whole virgin thing.
So she said that she had a date for her, which was like this really gross guy that was already at this party with them. And she had called her. And she was like, no,
that's right,
I'll find somebody.
Yeah.
So she runs into this vampire. You think it's a vampire because you see him already...
He's dressed up as a vampire.
Well, you see him already kill somebody. So you think it's an actual vampire. He killed that girl in the alley.
Oh, I thought that was her. Wait, who's the girl that he killed in the alley? A girl that he's
It was
dating?
just some random girl that because remember when he was talking to his son, he said, I have a date. Daddy has a date. I'll be back and I'll help you with this thing. And that was the date that he went on.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he met up with this girl, and she's just some random girl. She doesn't really matter to the movie in any way. But you think it's a vampire, and you don't realize that it's him because he has like makeup and shit on. And so anyway, he runs into Lori, who's Anna Paquin, on the street, and you think he's about to kill her because you still think that she's just a girl and you think that this is a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
So it cuts to the party, and they're like, oh shit, like, because they see this guy fall out of the tree, the vampire. And then that's when you come to the realization that they are not just women.
Well, they started doing things like chanting and dancing. When they started
Weird
doing the whole
shit.
Yeah, when they started doing that, I'm like, are they witches or what?
I thought that's what it was going to be. I thought that they were going to be witches, but they are werewolves.
It's so random.
It is random. It's fucking weird. And so Mr. Wilkins gets killed by a werewolf.
Yeah, that part happened. I'm like, man, like they could have taken this 100 different ways.
Yeah.
Besides being werewolves.
I think it would have been way cooler if it was some kind of witch thing. I think.
Or vampires.
Or vampires. Yeah, I do.
In Transylvania.
In Transylvania. This is in Ohio.
Oh, my bad.
Warren Valley, Ohio is where this is supposed to be based. So that story kind of ends. I think the story sucks, but my opinion, I don't know what you thought about it.
That story of the whole movie.
That's the story.
That story was
lame. It was just boring.
Yeah. I mean, they were pushing the whole virgin thing, thinking that they were going to... I thought eventually she's going to have sex with some guy and he's going to kill her.
So,
that's what I thought was going to happen.
So when I first saw this, I thought they were witches because when they kept pushing the whole virgin thing, I thought it was going to be some kind of ritual thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At the party, I still didn't catch on the fact that it was...
No, not until you saw them like fucking tear their skin off.
Yeah.
It was gross.
That was pretty bad.
It was just gross looking.
And then after that whole thing, it goes to...
They were like unzipping their skin and shit. And I was like, dude, come on. Like, you're unzipping your skin.
What was that movie? Cocoon? Yeah. Cocoon, they did that.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of Cocoon?
No. What is that?
It's a movie in the 80s. And
is it scary?
We'll watch it. Not at all. It's a great movie, though.
Is it supposed to be scary?
No, not at all. It's a class. It's a classic. You have to watch Cocoon. But anyway, the part where they unzip their skin and they throw them in a pile, it looks so bad.
I was like...
It looks bad.
Well, I read that guy that directed the movie, his name's Michael Dougherty, he did not want that whole entire thing to be CGI, and he wanted practical stuff, which was just special effects makeup stuff. He wanted that because he thought that looked more realistic than CGI. And I'm like, did it though? Like
more realistic than what?
CGI, like computer generated effects.
Yeah.
And I think that was just not a good move. I think it should have been computer generated because it just looked like shit.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Which was weird because I don't feel like the rest of the movie looked like that. Like fake and shit.
Not really. No.
I mean, not obviously realistic. It wasn't realistic, but it was more...
Better than that.
Yes. That whole thing, I think that story brought this entire movie down a tier. For me.
I feel like I forgot so much about this movie, and as soon as you start talking about it, I remember.
Well, we watched it last week. Like, you don't retain shit unless we talk about it the next day. And as far as scary movies and true crime and stuff, you don't. It goes in one ear and out the other quick.
What the fuck?
Dude, it's true, and you know it's true.
Whatever.
You have too much work stuff to remember to retain this shit. That's what my job is.
You don't know.
So the next story is called The Halloween School Bus Massacre.
This was the best part.
I loved this story. I thought this was a really good one.
I think this is the best one.
And so basically what this is, and it's very sad. I mean, I think it added...
Once again, children.
Yes, but this was like disabled children. This wasn't just like...
makes it so much better.
No. I'm saying like it makes it worse. Like, it's just, it makes it so sad. And so they are on a school bus, and the whole story is just terrible. So their parents are sick of dealing with them. And the way this girl tells this story is that parents were sick of them, they were embarrassed by them, and they were just tired of dealing with them. So they paid this bus driver that took them home from school every day to drive them to the rock quarry in town and basically drive the bus into the quarry to kill all the kids. And what's so tragic about this story is like you think they're going to get out of it. Because
doesn't he strap them down or something where they can't get out? Yeah,
so they're chained into these seats, and he stops like at the edge of this quarry and gets up and is giving them candy and stuff. Do
you need to use this? The mouse?
No, I'll talk about that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of just like random stuff.
Aight.
But anyway, and he's walking through the bus passing out candy kind of to just like soothe these kids because they're freaking out. Because one kid is already like, dude, I want to go home. Like, what are we doing? I want to go home. I want to go home. And he just keeps saying that. And so he eventually gets out of his like chain thing while he's passing out the candy, gets to the front of the bus. And since he's a kid, obviously he doesn't know how to drive and accidentally ends up driving them off the cliff anyway into the quarry.
Isn't that what the plan was to begin with, though?
Yes, but the bus driver wasn't supposed to be on the bus.
Okay, so
you think the kid's going to get to the seat and he's going to save them. Like, he's going to get them out of that situation. But he doesn't know what he's doing. He's mentally disabled or whatever. And he drives them off that. So
he goes with them.
Everybody in the bus goes down.
Okay.
Including the bus driver. Because he was going to get out and I guess like put it in neutral or something, or probably like push the bus off the cliff or something. So he's like, oh shit. Well, he goes down. What? Why are you laughing?
Oh, because
Oh shit.
every time somebody says something, it's oh shit.
Well, I mean, what else would you say?
And they were like, oh shit. God.
Dude, stop.
Okay, I'm gonna get this other one.
Can
I get the bottle opener again?
Yes. I mean, what would you say?
And they were like, oh shit. And she was like, oh shit. God.
I mean,
You were so silly.
because you know what I would say?
Oh shit. And they're like, oh shit. The bus driver said, oh shit.
Dude,
Here's another
stop.
one. Let's see.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was nice. No smoke though. Okay.
So you think everybody dies on the bus because it goes down to the water, and you can't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, and then these kids go down there. They're like, oh shit.
Oh my god, it's
There's people down here. Oh shit. Oh, this is the nice one.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, that's a nice pour.
But so you think everybody dies, you see like a couple of the masks float up, but then you realize that the bus driver somehow lived, which
That's why I'm
unrealistic. Unrealistic.
That's why I was confused, because he went down, but he didn't die.
And I think I told you this the other day, but you probably forgot by now, so I'll address it at the end. But so this story is being told by this mean girl who's like the head of this group of four kids?
So they were in the neighborhood, right? And then she's like, let's go somewhere.
Yes, it's like 4 or 5 kids. Well, they're the ones that are going around to every party asking for jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins, because they are taking it to this quarry to allegedly give it as offerings to these dead kids. So...
Did we know that before they went there? Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yes, because
Okay.
they talk about it before they get there. But they ended up picking up this girl who was like, what do they call those? Like an idiot savant? You don't know what that is?
A what?
Like an idiot savant. Like she's like autistic. But idiot savant is like, they're very, very, very smart. And especially in something in particular. But, she kind of befriends like the cute boy in the group, whatever you would call him, and he's nice to her. But
Oh yeah, didn't that other girl like beat the shit out of her or something like that?
no, beats the shit out of her.
Don't they like get into some kind of a fight or something? And
Yes.
She beats her?
So that girl, the head girl, the mean girl, she takes them to this rock quarry, tells them the story about what happened to these kids, and she's like, so now we have to go down there and put the pumpkins at the edge of the water as offerings. So they all go down there ahead of this girl and then the little short boy.
What's the movie? I'm getting two movies confused right now. What's the movie that we watched where the boy and the girl were up on this tower and she befriends them? Was that Halloween?
A tower?
They were on some kind of a tower.
Like a lift, like an elevator?
Yeah, and then they get into a fight and he flies off the tower and lands on, he goes in the hospital.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, none.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You're trying to make me feel stupid.
No, but it's not
Trying
this
to make
movie.
me feel so stupid.
No, whatever you're talking about isn't this movie.
But anyway, they got into a fight and she beat her ass, right?
No.
Did they get into a fight or not?
Just fucking listen.
I'm trying to participate.
You're trying to participate, but you're not listening. So,
I'm drinking beer.
so the two, well, really, there's only one mean girl in the group, and then there's another girl, and then like the cute boy. They all go down this elevator first to the quarry.
They told
The short boy,
the idiot savant,
the autistic girl, and then the short little
to
pirate
stay up
kid.
there.
To stay up there, and then they could come down. So they end up, the autistic girl and then the short pirate kid, they get in the elevator and go down there, and it's like silent.
So they go down. The others go down first.
Yes.
The elevator comes back up empty. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, oh shit, I guess we go down now.
Yeah.
They go down. And the pumpkins are all lit and shit.
She leaves pumpkins. The autistic girl leaves some of the pumpkins in the elevator because she believes that the jack-o'-lanterns will protect you as long as they stay lit. And which is one of the rules of Sam. And you're not supposed to blow out a candle in a jack-o'-lantern on Halloween, according to him. And so basically they just bring her into this whole situation to play a trick on her and just be mean to her. Just like a not nice joke. And it scares her to death. And she gets back in that elevator and doesn't go back up, but she just like locks the door. And then these zombie kids out of the water of the rock quarry actually come out to attack and kill those other kids. And so they run back up to the elevator and they're like, help us, like let us in. We need to go back up. And she just like pushes the button. She's like, fuck y'all. And she goes back up and she leaves all those kids down there.
Well, when they were chasing her, she fell, or she dropped her glasses and broke her glasses, right?
Yes, but this was prior to that.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like they played that joke on her and she was mad. So she went back into that elevator and locked the door. And then those zombie kids come out of the water to kill those other kids. Well, she, I guess, thinks they're playing another joke on her or something. And so she just goes back up and you just hear those kids screaming. You don't see anything, but you obviously know that they're getting killed by those zombies. And
then she starts walking off right into the street, this little dirt trail. Isn't that when that
little Sam
looks over the cliff, or he's just staring at her or something?
Yes.
Is that what happens?
Yes, little Sam. So he's walking over there.
He's so cute.
He is so cute. I guess to kind of see like what's going on. What?
I just felt something blow my hand.
Blow on your hand?
Yes.
Well, the fan is on.
It hasn't done this before until just now.
Stop. Can you not?
That was weird.
Oh, I get it. So, it's scary.
I felt like something blew my hand. Okay. Go ahead. So she walked down this dirt road, and Sam is looking at either her or down the cliff or something like that. Yes.
And so it goes back. So the last story, it goes back to this guy named Krieg, who is Mr. Wilkins' neighbor that we previously talked about, who was looking at him through the fence, asking like what he was doing and
the kid screaming,
what that smell was and everything. So he's kind of just a cranky ass old man that doesn't come out of his house, and he's just kind of mean to everybody. And so Sam shows up at his house and starts attacking him and shit because he won't give out candy. So kids come to his door and he won't pass out candy. Well, Sam doesn't like that.
No, Sam wants you to give candy and keep your pumpkins lit.
Which is so fucking stupid. Like, it's just basic shit to do. And so he starts attacking him, but you really don't know why he's attacking him. So, like, throughout this entire movie, you don't know why Sam is at all of these events. And it doesn't really become obvious until you see the whole movie. So he is attacking this Krieg guy. And so Krieg goes to his window. He can't get out of his house. He goes to his window when Mr. Wilkins is going back in his house from burying the kid from the very first story in this movie, the Thurman kid. And that's when you see from Mr. Krieg's point of view that Wilkins guy is like, go fuck yourself. I think that's what he said. And so he's like, oh, damn, oh shit.
He's like, oh shit. So
nobody's gonna help me. I have no way out and somebody's trying to kill me. Oh shit.
And he was like, oh shit. And he thought, oh shit.
Oh my God, stop.
You stopped yourself that time.
I know. So I was trying. I was like, damn, and I did.
Like, oh, okay.
Oh, damn it. Well, anyway.
Gee.
And so Sam like almost kills this guy. Like he's like about to kill him with this sucker thing.
He did a lot of shit to him too.
Yes, like bad. He was going to kill him.
This Krieg guy, Krieg.
Yeah, Mr. Krieg.
He shoots him too with a shotgun.
Yeah. And
blows off like his limbs or stuff, and doesn't his limb grow back?
Yeah. So there's not really much to this story. I mean, other than how it ties into Mr. Wilkins, and you see toward the end of this, so you think he gets out of it, like he's cool, and he's like hobbling around on crutches and shit the rest of the night, passing out candy to kids.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you asshole. So you had candy this entire time and you're just not going to give it to kids? Like, what a dick.
Well, did he tell Sam, like, okay, I'll pass out candy. I'll do it.
Because Sam stopped because he gave him candy or something. And I don't know if he knew that's what he was supposed to do, or he just saw it and he grabbed it and he was just like, oh, okay, like, this is all I wanted.
It was a sucker.
No,
right?
It was a candy bar. The sucker is what he carries around all the time, like killing people with.
Oh, shit.
And so, and I said, oh, shit.
So he said, oh, shit, I need to hand out some candy.
Oh, my God. Well, so you think Mr. Krieg gets out of it, and you're like, oh, okay, like, this is kind of toward the end of the movie. So he opens his door, and it is the zombie kids from the bus at his door, there to fuck him up and kill him.
But he gave them candy.
No, they kill him. You don't see it happen, but then at the end of the movie, you see those kids leave the house and like they're covered in blood and shit. They killed him.
Well,
so
then you see Sam just standing at the street staring at him, right?
So Mr. Krieg is the bus driver.
Oh, from a long time ago?
Yes, he is the bus driver that was going to kill them. That's why those kids came to his door.
That's right. I forgot that.
This is the end of the movie. I mean, that's how it ends.
Yeah, Sam is staring at him.
Yes.
And it ties back into the lady across the street blowing out their camp.
Yes.
And taking down the decorations, and he goes over there to kill them.
Yeah. So it's very much a Quentin Tarantino scenario where like everything's out of order, but then you see how it all ties together. I think that's why I like this movie so much, is I like that. And that's why I like Quentin Tarantino movies. That's why I like Pulp Fiction. Because I just think it's such a cool concept as opposed to just, okay, here's the story. I'd rather it be told in cool parts and you can see like why everything is related.
Yeah. I mean, everybody likes their different stuff, right? I mean, but it's just, I never caught on to who was killing people until the end. And I was like, oh, okay. Even when that Sam thing appeared after those kids died in the little rock quarry thing, I didn't catch on to the fact that he was making that happen.
Yes.
So I didn't catch on to it until the very end when he turned around and walked across the street. I was like, he's the one that's killing all these people.
So that is one of like the
minus the werewolves.
The Halloween rules for that bus thing. I didn't understand how they broke Halloween rules unless they were just assholes and he just didn't like that they were being mean to her. Because I don't know
Maybe
what
it's because they had
pumpkins
pumpkins that weren't lit. They were asking people for pumpkins before they were.
I don't know. I never really understood that, but the whole entire thing, and I read this somewhere and I was like, oh my God, like that totally makes sense, is that you can't really see him as a villain, even though he is the villain in this movie. You can't really see him that way because he's not just out to kill people. Like he wants everybody, and this is what that Michael Dougherty guy that made the movie said. He's not a regular villain because he isn't just after everybody. His whole entire thing is trying to save like basically the spirit of Halloween. And as long as everybody, abides by the Halloween rules, cool. If you break the rules, well, I'm going to come after your ass and kill you somehow. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's a really campy, kind of a beginner horror movie. I mean, if you want your kids at like 13, 14 to get into horror movies, I mean, I think this is a good one. Don't you? I mean, it's like PG-13.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess it's okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just one of those. It's just strange. I don't know.
It is. It's a weird movie, but like, I think it's a fun movie.
But like the middle, like we just said, the whole werewolf thing, that was just kind of a bad.
I did not. I think that is one that I could have done without. I think if they had substituted a different story with that, this movie would have been better. But I would give this movie like 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Still 5 for me. 5.5. I'll give 0.5. 5.5. Do you need to use that mouse for any reason?
No, because I actually remembered all that stuff while we were talking.
I
But I do like this movie. I have talked about it before, but Creepshow, Greg Nicotero's Creepshow, I really like that. That's also an anthology series. The original Creepshow, the movies, I love those as well. Tales of Halloween. If you have not seen Tales of Halloween, I highly, highly recommend that. It's just a really good... That's more of like an adult one. That's like a really scary, like gory anthology about Halloween. But I like it. I like Trick or Treat. And yeah. It's one of my favorite Halloween movies, and I always watch it.
It was okay. Wasn't too bad, but...
Not your thing.
It's just not my thing. Yeah, that's okay. So that was the episode of Trick or Treat, paired with North Coast Brewing Company, Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram at Booze and Bloodshed. If you have any kind of suggestions, send us an email at boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. I don't think we have Twitter, do we? I feel like we say that every time. Do we have Twitter? No.
We don't have Twitter.
But
if you go to like any browser and just search for Booze and Bloodshed, you'll find our
we'll come up
anywhere. Yeah.
We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Give us a follow on YouTube. Pandora, Spotify, all that good stuff.
All of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you listening.
And we will see y'all on the next episode. We are going to do a third episode this month.
We are?
Yes.
Okay.
We are. It is Halloween month.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. We will see y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.